Rwanda is home to some of the most endangered animals on Earth, and if you want to see them for yourself, all you need to do is visit one of their national parks. So today we're taking you on a tour of Volcanoes National Park, which is located near the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Uganda. The park protects an area of 223 square kilometers and was established in 1927. This makes it one of the oldest national parks in all of Africa. In fact, it was originally called the National Park of Volcanoes, but in 1991, it was renamed to honor the country's first president, Juvenal Habyarimana. Despite its age, Volcanoes National Park still remains one of the least visited national parks in Rwanda, with only about 15,000 tourists visiting each year. There are 5 volcanoes within the park. These include Karisimbi, Bizik, Muhabura, Gahinga, and Sabyinyo. 4 of the 5 are dormant, while Karisimbi is active. The name Karisimbi comes from the Kinyarwanda word meaning she who is always shining, which refers to the mountain summit that often glistens with snow. It rises at 4,507 meters or 14,787 feet, making it the highest mountain in Rwanda and the 3rd highest in the Virunga Mountains. The other 4 peaks may be dormant, but they are also very tall, ranging from 3,400 meters to 3,800 meters or 11,155 feet to 12,467 feet. The peaks form a volcanic chain along the border with Uganda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. These mountains formed around 2 million years ago, but even though they are so young geologically, they are home to many endemic species of plants and animals. Of the 18 known endemic flora species, 11 are found in this park alone. When it comes to fauna, 22 of the 45 endemic animal species live here too. There are also 3 lakes in the park, including Lake Balera, Lake Rugezi, and Lake Ahima. Lake Balera sits between the DRC and Uganda at the base of Mount Bizik. Legend has it that there is a one-way love affair between the beautiful mountain gorilla and the handsome golden monkey. But every night he travels to Lake Balera to turn himself into a fish in order to escape his ardent suitor. Meanwhile, Lake Rugezi can be found at the foot of Mount Karisimbi. Local fishermen believe that the lake is haunted by the ghosts of their loved ones who died during the 1994 genocide. Finally, Lake Ahima is famous for the giant reeds growing on its shores. It sits high up in the mountains, around 2,600 meters above sea level, and is home to numerous aquatic birds. The lake's waters flow into the Congo River, eventually emptying into the Atlantic Ocean. All in all, the park encompasses montane forest, bamboo forest, swamp forest, and heath, as well as the 5 volcanoes and 3 lakes we mentioned earlier. It is divided into 2 sections, the northern and southern sections. You can find lowland forest, bamboo forest, and swamp forest in the north, as well as the headquarters and the main tourist facilities. Meanwhile, the south offers more swamp forest, as well as the 5 volcanoes, the 3 lakes, the Muzanzi Caves, and the Kinigi Transit Camp. Volcanoes National Park is most famous for being home to endangered mountain gorillas. There are currently only around 1,000 mountain gorillas left in the wild, half of which live in Volcanoes National Park. As such, seeing these gentle giants in their natural habitat is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Your best chances of doing so are between January and March, when the vegetation is quite sparse and the gorillas are easier to spot. But keep in mind that you will have to trek through thick vegetation and cross rivers, so be prepared for anything. If you're lucky enough, you might even get to see a baby gorilla, but you'll have to remain silent and keep your distance. In addition to the mountain gorillas, you can see other primates in Volcanoes National Park. Keep an eye out for Lehos monkeys, chimpanzees, gray-cheeked mangabes, blue monkeys, red-tailed monkeys, and the rare golden monkey. Golden monkeys are actually native to the Albertine Rift and can only be found in a few places. Volcanoes National Park is one of them. Seeing them is a real treat because of their bright, beautiful fur. But keep in mind that the golden monkeys are extremely shy and elusive. If you want to increase your chances of seeing one, join a guided tour. You can also go on a gorilla or chimpanzee trekking tour. There are about 450 mountain gorillas living in the park, and you will be able to spend 1 hour with them after trekking. But don't forget that you must stay at least 7 meters away from them at all times. To minimize disturbance and avoid any potential danger, it's very important to follow the guidelines provided by park rangers. Also, remember that the price of a permit is much higher for non-residents than it is for residents. When going on a safari in Africa, it's easy to assume that you won't see any reptiles or amphibians. However, this isn't true at all. Volcanoes National Park is home to over 180 species of reptiles and amphibians, including the rare African green mamba and the elusive scaly-sided palm civet. The park is also home to a variety of butterflies. In total, 179 butterfly species have been recorded here, including the rare Razori turaco. In fact, it has the second highest butterfly diversity in Africa after the nearby Ningwe Forest National Park. Moving on, let's talk about the amazing birds you can find in Volcanoes National Park. Birders will be happy to hear that the park is home to 177 bird species, including several endemics. Some of the most notable birds here are the regal, crowned eagle, black-throated blue warbler, African emerald, cuckoo, cinnamon, checkered, nightjar, handsome, francolin, red-faced, crimson wing, yellow-eyed, black flycatcher, and strange weaver. Remember that Rwanda lies within the Albertine Rift, one of the world's 8 biodiversity hotspots. Therefore, it shouldn't come as a surprise that Volcanoes National Park is home to so many beautiful creatures. As for mammals, you'll find 26 species here, although most of these are small mammals like bush babies, tree hyrax, black and white colobus monkey, and various bats. That said, there are larger mammals like elephants, buffaloes, antelopes, leopards, African civets, genets, duikers, porcupines, giant rats, and mice. But sightings are rare since these nocturnal animals tend to hide during the day. The good news is that there are plenty of large mammals in the surrounding areas, especially in Muzanzi and Kinigi. For example, you can easily spot elephants and giraffes at the nearby game reserve. In addition, there are occasional sightings of endangered black rhinos. Lastly, we should mention the butterflies. Once again, Volcanoes National Park has the second largest number of butterfly species in Africa with 179 species recorded. This includes the iconic Apollo blue butterfly. Volcanoes National Park not only offers incredible wildlife viewing opportunities, but also scenic beauty. It's a great place for hiking, camping, and enjoying nature. In fact, you can climb Mount Karasimbi, the highest peak in Rwanda, or hike to the top of one of the other 4 dormant volcanoes. You can also take a guided tour of the Muzanzi Caves, which were formed by volcanic activity thousands of years ago. These caves are home to thousands of bats and are a great place to learn about the history of the area. Finally, we should mention that Volcanoes National Park showcases Africa's leading success story in conservation tourism. It is a shining example of how conservation efforts can help to save endangered species and protect the environment. Seeing the progress that has been made here is truly inspiring and gives hope for the future of conservation in Africa. We hope you enjoyed our tour of Volcanoes National Park. If you did, be sure to stay tuned for more travel videos. Thanks for watching.